Hey guys, what's up? I was wondering if there's going to be anybody up this late. I know that I was checking some of the comments before. Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to doing stuff with my right hand. I'm left-handed. Dandy, girl, is that showing? There it is. Dandy, do you ever sleep? I've seen Dandy this morning. I've seen her this afternoon in chats, and now she apparently is here tonight, or she was about an hour ago. So, Dandy, if you're still up, God bless you, girl. You must still be young enough to be able to stay up all night and all day without a lot of sleep. I remember those days about 30 years ago. But oh, Junior said Junior says I'll be asleep. Have a good show. Well, thank you, Junior. You can watch the replay. But I got your comment that you made on the live I did, the top 8 states with the most serial offenders, and Junior had asked me how many offenders were currently operating as of 2023, 2024. So, of course, I immediately got on the Google machine to look it up, and I did find an interesting article about that. So, Junior, you'll have to catch it on the replay. But, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Jocelyn is here. Hey, Jocelyn. Good to have you here. It's good to have everybody here. Nan R is here. Good to have you here for the first time. Thank you, Nan, so much for joining. Yeah, I just got the idea to do a really, it's 11:30 U.S. Central Time here. So depending on where you guys are at in the United States or in the world. Yeah, I because we all know, or a lot of us know here, our friend Dave, he has a lot of all of his lives are late night, early mornings, and he always has to get a fair amount of people in there. So I just thought I'd try it out to see how many people could come in. Welcome everybody. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining us tonight or this morning or this afternoon, whatever the case may be. Thanks to everybody that's here now, everybody's watching on the replay. This is Southern Gal True Crime, and I share missing persons, cold cases, some current true crime in the news, and more. And I cover mostly, or share mostly, the cases of missing persons that don't get the national attention that the big cases do. Not that those victims aren't important, but there are lots and lots of cases out there that do not get national attention or even a lot of local attention. So I try to bring a little bit more awareness to those cases. But tonight I just kind of threw together some stuff. Like I said, this is kind of an experiment to see how a late night live would go. Let's see what we got going on. That's my girl. Dandy says, I love a good dumpster fire. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. And if you could, and this is what the third live and chat that I've been in today with Dandy. If you could, Dandy, and I was joking with her earlier that I think I've kidnapped Dandy Linus and made her do my bidding because she's so good and so reliable. But if you could throw the link in, and if you don't have time, that's fine, for the Think Tank, Miss Frankie's channel, you can do that. I wanted to quickly mention her, our new friend, my new friend that was introduced to me by Dandy and by Shauna. So if you've never checked out the Think Tank and Miss Frankie, she is wonderful. I think she is in Canada, I believe. Good lady. She's our people, as I call her. No drama, sticks to the facts, keeps good vibes. So I attended. She actually had 2 lives today, one this morning and one this afternoon, or later morning, and I attended both of them, and I just love it. So I have a new true crime friend, true crime community to add to all you wonderful people that I already had here. Let's see what else is going on. Dandy says it's only 10:30 in Colorado. Well, it's not too late for you then. Yeah, so you must be in, so you're not in Central Time Zone. Western, I can't keep up with. The only time zones I can keep up with is Central Time Zone, which is what I'm in, and Eastern Time Zone. Everything else, I have no clue. Yep, Nan. Yep, see, Nan says I'm in Eastern Time, so it's just after 12:30. Yep. See, like I said, I keep up with Eastern or Central and Eastern, and that's it. Yes, Nan says, I believe I've seen you on Steve's channel, True Crime Web. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Steve is, and Mrs. Steve are 2 of my favorite people, even though I've never met them personally. I would love to someday if I ever am lucky enough to get the chance. But when I first started watching, just watching true crime video creators here on YouTube, I've said this every time, I quickly learned the good from the bad. And Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve, True Crime Web, are one of the best. Mr. Steve has been so encouraging and so helpful to me. He actually let me be a guest on his show one time to discuss one of a case from here in Arkansas that is dear to my heart. So yes, True Crime Web is wonderful. I love Steve or Chris at the Mob Crew, Carolyn at Our Secrets, of course Dave, and now Miss Frankie from the Think Tank. I'm just so grateful for all these new friends that I'm making and new connections. And Dandy Linus helped me today, got me into the Discord community. So now I'm in Miss Frankie's Think Tank Discord server. Is that what they're called? I'm still new to the Discord thing, and I actually I think I got my own server set up too. So I'm playing around with it. So but yes, I'm so grateful for all the new true crime friends I've made here, and everybody who's supported me, subscribed. And by the way, if you are new here and you think this would be your cup of tea, please do consider subscribing. Hit the bell, like, share, comment. You guys know the drill. I also do have me set up a buy me a coffee thing. See, I'm telling y'all, I'm new to a lot of this, and I'm still new, fairly new to just doing this in general. My February 13th, I believe, will be my 1-year anniversary for my channel, so I'm excited about that. So you can also find me if you guys get on Facebook. I do have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. Obviously, both of them are called Southern Gal True Crime. I try to keep up on those. I try to post stuff in the group and on the page that I don't put here on YouTube. Sometimes I don't always keep up with it as much as I like to, but please do check it out if you get a chance. All right, I think that's all the shameless plugging I have to do. Back to the comments and see what's going on. Echoes 14. That sounds familiar for some reason. I have a suspicion, I'm probably wrong, but one of my brothers uses Echoes something or other for emails and names. I'm probably way off base, but Echoes 14, where are you from, if you don't mind saying? Because it's my middle brother. Is that you, my middle brother? You're a good detective. Okay, if that's you, thank you for being here. Okay, guys, Echoes 14 is my middle brother, so welcome him. Thank you, Dandy, for putting in the links, all my links. So, my dear brother, how did you find me? And yes, I'm turning into a good detective because I watch way too much true crime and read about way too much true crime and everything. But thank you for coming and supporting me. I appreciate it. Okay, so before I lose my train of thought like I usually do. Dandelion says I'm a sleuth. Well, I don't know about that. I try to use I've tried to use what I've learned by watching the true professionals that know what they're doing. FBI, I think. Were you talking about me or you? Oh, Facebook. I thought you said FBI. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have it on my Facebook page. Anyway, don't give me a hard time while you're here, but thank you for coming. You just made me completely lose my train of thought. I forgot where I was. Yeah, so if you Dandy put the link in for the buy me a coffee. I think I'm gonna change it to buy me a pizza or buy me a tea because I don't drink coffee. But anyway, so we're gonna start out. Okay, and I'm gonna put up my standard disclaimer for everybody here watching, my imaginary audience here watching my live stream. What you're about to see is a nightmare. Meaning at any time this live stream could turn into a dumpster fire. But luckily I've got my right hand lady Dandelion is here to take care of any try to get me out of any dumpster fires I get into, or if I go into the Upside Down or the Matrix or the Twilight Zone. I do have my cell phone plugged in, so hopefully it will stay charged. My laptop is fully charged. I have my tea, so we should be good. So with my standard disclaimer up, I'll see what my first slide is and what we're going to talk about first. Oh, so we're going to talk about a little bit about Heuermann and what, of course, we all know that he has been now charged with a fourth, with the Marine Brainard-Barnes, which is good news, which I don't think that many of us were surprised when he was charged with with her homicide. So hopefully all that DNA evidence seems pretty strong. So hopefully that will stick. But I came across an article about, it is just so ridiculous to me. I mean, I had to shake my head about what his lawyer had to say about his internet searches. And I'm sure you guys have seen all and heard all about the internet searches. But the lawyer's explanation for these internet searches, just, I wanted to laugh, but then again, it's not funny because it's so horrifying. But it blew my mind. So, and then I have an update on the Amanda Harms If you didn't watch my live last night or whenever it was, I don't even know what day it is right now. Amanda Harms was the lady that I was going to feature, and I forgot to do a featured missing person for this. But anyway, Amanda Harms was going to be my featured missing person for my last live that I did. But when I always look for updates before I go live to make sure if they've been found, best case scenario, they've been found unharmed and alive. But unfortunately, Amanda Harms had been found deceased. And we talked about it in the last live. There wasn't a whole lot of information about it, but I did come across an article that gives the police have given the family a little bit more information about how she was found and what they think happened. So I'll have that. We're going to talk a little bit about Evansdale, Lyric and Elizabeth. It's been 11 years, and Mr. Steve, most of y'all know Mr. Steve from True Crime Web, and Chris and Carolyn and everybody else who works with them behind the scenes have been out there. I know Mr. Steve has been out there, and they have talked to Larry, I'm getting my mixed up. Mr. Steve has been out to Evansdale to where they actually found Lyric and Elizabeth's remains. So it's 11 years. The case is still not solved. I try to help them as much as I can with my little channel, bring as much awareness as I can to Lyric and Elizabeth. They still have not gotten justice. So I just want to talk about that case a little bit. Yes, Dandy, if you would, please. Yeah, you can share anything. You can share my Discord, the link to the think tank, Miss Frankie, to her channel, her Discord, if you want to. Whatever you want to share, you go, girl. You got control. I trust you. What else we gonna talk about? I got a couple of cold cases and a really bizarre crime that I came across. And if we have time, I really wanted to, but I figure I'm not surprised that Junior's not here. I think he goes to bed pretty early, so I may save the what I came across about the number of serial offenders who are operating in the United States at any given time, or I try to concentrate on 2023, 2024. But yes, Jocelyn says Lyric and Elizabeth, most definitely. Like I said, I know that is a case that is very close to Chris at the Mob Crew and Mr. and Mrs. Steve at True Crime Web. They talked to Drew Collins, which is Elizabeth's dad, a lot. So yeah, I just want to bring as much attention as I can, help bring as much attention as I can to that case, because those two little baby girls, sweet little girls, and their families deserve justice and deserve to know who took the lives of their baby girls. All right, so let me see what we got first. Okay, so first we're going to have the update about Amanda Harms. Let me find the right bookmark that I'm looking for. Okay, so this is from today or yesterday, as the case may be. It is from 2 News Oklahoma website, and it is from January 19th. So, Dandy, you can put the think tank in there too. Put whatever you want of mine and whatever you want of Miss Frankie's think tank. The link to the channel, link to Discord, whatever you want to put in. I trust you. And Miss Frankie was so good to me in the lives and the chats and giving me shout outs. So I want to give her some pay it back to her for anybody here that may not have heard of Miss Frankie and her channel. So you put in whatever you want, Dandy. Okay, so Amanda Harms, and this is from Muskogee, Oklahoma, from January 19th, which is technically yesterday. So days after Amanda was reported missing, Amanda Harms was found deceased in the backyard of a home miles, and it was 3 miles from her home. While Muskogee police say they hadn't suspected foul play, her mother, Shelley Townsend, was not convinced until she met with investigators today. Amanda's husband, Eric, told 2 News that he had been receiving conflicting information regarding the level of details that would be shared with the family now that after Amanda was found. And I believe, I'm trying to sort through my mental sticky notes. I believe she went missing Saturday, or she left her house Saturday, supposedly walking at 8 o'clock at night in Oklahoma in the cold after dark to go to the store without keys or money or anything else. And I think that was Saturday night, and she was found deceased Thursday. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because I have all these cases that I've been researching in my head. So anyway, so Amanda's husband, Eric, told 2 News that he had been receiving conflicting information about, and I understand that in cases when you find somebody deceased, police do keep some information back, most definitely from the public, but not and I can understand, depending on what it is, if it's deemed to be a homicide, which it looks like in this case. As for right now, it is not foul play. But in instances of accidental death or something that's not foul play, I can understand the family's frustration with the law enforcement not giving them all the information. But anyway, that is just my opinion. So he and Townsend, who is Amanda's mother, met with investigators this afternoon looking for more answers. Amanda's mother says, we won't know for sure until we get the autopsy report. We do know at the end of her life, she was desperately trying to get somebody to let her come into a house so she could get warm, but nobody would open the door to her. Amanda was found in a backyard near a fence 3 miles from her house. Investigators told Townsend that it looked like Amanda had tried to climb over a fence, as they found some of her clothing was tangled in the wire fence. Her husband said in all the years that he had known her, has known her, she would never climb a fence. But obviously, maybe because of the circumstances, she was desperate and thought if she could get over that fence, maybe she could find another house that would let her come inside. And this was according to her mother. So sad. Amanda left behind 3 children and a grandson. She was a 6th and 7th grade teacher at Muskogee Public Schools. Townsend said she knew that her daughter would be an amazing teacher from a young age. She says Mandy was a really good person. She was a hard worker. She loved her job. She loved teaching. Another thing that was brought up was, did she get a ride with somebody? So this, according to this interview with the mother and her husband, the distance between Amanda's and her husband's home and the yard that she was found in was 3 miles. So there was speculation that there was no way she had walked that distance. And today they did learn that the police do have footage of her getting a ride from somebody. So she did not walk 3 miles and end up in this yard. And I think originally it had been reported that she was found inside of a shed. It did not mention, I don't think, a shed in this article, but regardless, you know, who they were like, there's no way, her family, her husband was saying there's no way that she would, sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. There was no way that she could or would have walked that far. But police do have footage of her getting a ride from someone. It does not say if they have identified the car, got a license plate number, if she possibly knew the person she got a ride with, if it was a stranger she got a ride with. Her mother says, we do know that she was knocking on doors trying to get in, but the people didn't answer, didn't let her in, which is understandable these days. You never know. Unfortunately, the world we live in, it's not like back in when I was growing up back in the 70s and 80s when, people hitchhiked and you would stop and pick up whoever or accept a ride from somebody, or if a stranger came up to your door and knocked on it, you would open it without thinking twice. People don't, you can't, unfortunately, you can't really do that these days. It's very, very dangerous. So it says another resolution that came from this meeting was clarity on examinations being done to determine all the details behind what caused Amanda's death. The family were satisfied to learn that a full autopsy, examination, and toxicology reports are being done. So that is good news. She goes on to say right now, she is convinced, and this is her mother, says, I'm convinced that it was an accident. She says it was just an accident. It was like my younger daughter said, the perfect storm with the weather. So, I'm anxiously awaiting. I'm gonna be. I hope they do release it publicly. But once again, we as the general public don't have the right necessarily to know. But I would love. I can't. I hope they do release the autopsy reports and the COD, because it didn't mention it in this article that I read from, but on the last live one last night or yes, whenever it was, her family did say, and this came from her family, it wasn't, rumor or hearsay, that unfortunately Amanda was struggling with addiction. So I had speculated or thought that maybe she had been going out. Yes, Jocelyn says, very strange and tragic. Yeah, still, even with these, I'm wondering why she left the house walking. No money, no wallet, no, as far as I know, no phone. Why did she go? The only reason I can think, hey, Karen Lee says, stopping to say hello, have a commitment, have a good show. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for dropping in. Yep, you can watch the replay. I'm trying to have a good show. So far, it hasn't turned into a dumpster fire. But we're only barely 30 minutes in, so we still got a minute to go. Make sure nothing happens. But good to see you here, Karen. Thanks for dropping by. Dandy says, so many sinister things going on the last few years. I hope they catch the culprit. Yeah, and see, if there is a culprit, I mean, so this is just me, in my opinion. Anybody, okay, so in my opinion, two possibilities, and I could be totally off base, and you guys will please let me know out there in chat or anybody watching replay. Either, so the strangest thing to me is her walking at 8 o'clock at night in the cold with no keys, no money, nothing with her to walk to the store. Didn't say how far supposedly this store was that she was going to walk to. Could have been across the street or just, down the block. But why would you walk? Why wouldn't you take your car? They said, she could. Her mom had speculated that maybe she couldn't find her keys, and that's why she walked. And I don't know if it mentioned if her husband was home at the time. So my thought was, especially after the comments that the family made about her, unfortunately struggling with addiction, is maybe she was going out to, I have to be careful how I phrase things on YouTube or they'll kick me off. Going out to satisfy something with her troubles, addiction that she had. She either couldn't find her keys, and she did walk. That's the reason she started walking. Maybe her husband was there, knew that knew or had a suspicion of what she wanted to possibly be going out to do. Wouldn't give her the car keys, so she just took off walking. But then she maybe found something or didn't. Something happened. She got disoriented. She ended up 3 miles away from her house. And now we know that she got a ride with somebody. That's most likely how she ended up 3 miles away from her home. So was it just a tragic accident? She got lost, disoriented, and she passed from hypothermia, or something to do with her addiction, or does it have something to do? I want to know more about this person or persons that she got the ride with. Dandy makes a valid point another theory too. Dandy says she took a ride from someone. I don't think it's an accident, but I could be wrong. See, that's what I'm having trouble with too. When they got the information from this article that she did get into the car with somebody. Did she know this person? Did she not know this person? That's why the COD, autopsy COD will tell a lot. But evidently, just by visual, they saw no signs of foul play. Now, that does not mean that it wasn't foul play. That's the reason they do autopsies, obviously. But yeah, I think the key is going to be the autopsy and the COD. So I'm definitely going to keep up with this case and stay on the Google machine, as Mr. Steve calls it. And then as soon as any new information comes out, I will definitely let you guys know. See if I'm still trying to get used to doing the stylus with my right hand. That's when things go into the dumpster fire, into the upside down, when I try to use my right hand. Because I'm left-handed, but when I do with my left hand, it goes across the screen and it bothers me. So let me make sure I haven't missed any comments. Said hi to Karen Lee. She was here. Yeah, Jocelyn said very strange and tragic. Yes. Yeah, Danny said, I'm glad they found her, but what a tragic end. Yeah, see, and this is, I think I'm a jinx. I think I'm going to start not, even though that's the heart and soul of my channel, is sharing missing persons. This is one of 2 missing. Well, Amanda, I didn't even get to feature her because she was going to be my featured missing person, and then I found out they found her deceased. And then we have Stephanie Lofton, who I did feature as my missing person 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately, she was found deceased, and it was a homicide, but they do have an arrest. It was her estranged boyfriend. And he was arrested. He had fled to California, and the LAPD found him and extradited him back to Oklahoma or Texas, one, because she was in Texas. Stephanie was in Texas visiting her 6-week-old new grandbaby. She had lived in Florida. She was on her way back to Florida. She never made it back to the airport. They found the rental car in Oklahoma, and then they somehow did all their detective work, good work, and linked, somehow found out about the boyfriend. Gonzalez was his last name. I can't remember his first name. And anyway, he told them where Stephanie's remains were, and he was arrested and charged with first degree. So hopefully that's good news. But yeah, I think I'm putting a jinx on all my missing people that I feature. But I do have, and I will feature them on my on either my live stream or my video I do for Missing Person Monday. I do have good news on two teens, either runaway or missing teens that I had featured. So I have good news I'm going to report on two of those. Okay, so that is the latest information on Amanda Harms. Like I said, I will keep up with this case. And like I said, hopefully, even though, like I said, we as the general public don't have, it is, it's not our right to see what the autopsy results will be. Hopefully they will be released. Maybe the family will because that, to me, that's going to be the key, is what was her COD. Okay, so let's see what we got going next. Okay, so next, good old Rexy boy. Actually, we're not going to be talking a whole lot about Heuermann, but what his lawyer had to say about Heuermann's internet searches. Okay, give me a minute to find the right, here it is, the right article. How's everybody doing out there? We doing good? You still hanging with me? Thanks everybody for being here and commenting, and everybody who's watching replay. Thanks to Dandy for putting in all the links for me. Okay, once again, my computer's being slow. Come on, there it is. So this is from the New York Post. Once again, from the 19th, which was yesterday or the day before, 5 days ago, whatever day it is. Seriously, okay, so from January 19th, New York Post. Suspected serial offender Rex Heuermann's lawyer defends sadistic internet searches in Gilgo Beach case. So Michael Brown, and that is Michael Brown you see there on the left of the picture. The attorney for suspected serial offender Rex Heuermann answered a question about the, quote, sadistic search history prosecutors allegedly found on his client's devices. Investigators said they found dozens of search terms, and in this article, and I will, after the stream is over and when YouTube will let me edit it, I'm going to put the, as always, the links to all the articles and sources that I use, so you can go in and read the search terms. But I'm sure if you've been following this case, you know what the terms are. I cannot say the terms on YouTube or I will definitely get kicked off. So needless to say, I can't say them, but investigators said they found dozens of search terms, and they go on to name some of them, on a burner phone and email account that they seized under the fake name Thomas Hawk. So I guess Thomas Hawk, I don't know if that has any significance. Sounds like a movie character or a wrestler or something. Anyway, so they found these terms under a fake name. They also found more than 200 searches regarding other known serial offenders and the Gilgo Beach case itself. So we've all basically know that. And we know that Heuermann is now accused of taking the lives of 4 women. Megan, their names just slipped out of my mind. Megan, Amber, and Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and Bartholomew, Melissa. And he has now been charged with Brainard-Barnes. So is now accused of taking the lives of 4 women whose remains were found in the brush along a stretch of Ocean Parkway. Here are the names right in front of me. Melissa Barthelemy, 24, Megan Waterman, 22, Amber Costello, 27, and Maureen Brainard-Barnes, 25. So we know all that. We're pretty much caught up on that. Thank you, Dandy. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help the algorithm, and it's free. Anything free is good. Yeah, like I said, talk about how I have the buy me a coffee and all that stuff. And with the buy me a coffee, I set it at $5. So for every $5 that is donated, $2 out of every $5 will be donated to a very worthy nonprofit that any of my regulars know what I'm talking about, that goes out free of charge to the families and helps families look for their missing loved ones or their remains. Mr. Steve, Chris from Mob Crew, Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets, and everybody else that they have working behind the scenes. So it's not all just to help me right now. I want to give back to this organization for all the good work that they do. Yes, Jocelyn says, I think there are many more to be discovered, sadly. Yes, with Heuermann. And I had this thought as soon as all this information started coming out about Rex Heuermann, about his ties, and most definitely to New York, to South Carolina. He has a family that lives in South Carolina. He has been linked to Las Vegas. They tried to link him to Atlantic, the 4 ladies that were killed. I forgot I said the K word. I'm not supposed to say that too. The 4 ladies whose lives were taken in Atlantic City, New Jersey. They called that the Eastbound Strangler. I think they've eliminated him. They were trying to link him maybe to them, but they've eliminated him. From that. But still, that case, they need to find and I'm sure they're looking. Hopefully, they will find the offender in that. But yeah, I agree, Jocelyn. I think, like Mr. Steve agrees about what I had thought, and I think when it's all said and done, unfortunately, and we probably won't ever know all of them, but I think he is going to be one of the more prolific serial offenders that has come along or has been discovered in a long, long time since, up there with the Bundys and the Gacy's and the Dahmers. And unfortunately, the way, like I said, I had that thought, but I'm like, what do I know? I'm just some goofy woman sitting on here who's interested in true crime and also has a passion for getting these missing person names and stories out there so that they're not forgotten. But yeah, Mr. Steve said he agrees. He thinks he's going to be very prolific. Yes, and Dandy, I remember we were talking about this earlier in Miss Frankie in the think tank. Once he's convicted, they can run him through CODIS, because that's one thing that, like I said, we were talking in the chat with Miss Frankie. Is, man, I wish they could use that DNA right. And I know he has his rights because he has not been convicted yet. He is innocent until and unless proven guilty. But man, if you could just use that DNA now to start comparing to not only the other victims that were found on Gilgo Beach and Fire Island and all that Long Island area, but in South Carolina, the Julia Bean case. Yeah, but so hopefully, but also, I want the trial has to be fair on both sides, prosecution and defense. So everybody, no matter if you think they're a monster or not, and whether you think they're guilty or innocent, they have their right is go through the court process. But man, hopefully he'll, if he is the offender, hopefully he will be found guilty, and that way you can get that, like Danny says, get that DNA into CODIS and see if in my opinion, there's going to be some hits. I'm telling you. Jocelyn says, yes, fortunately, he does tend to leave evidence behind. Yeah, luckily he does. Ooh, that's an interesting thought. Dandelion says, just a thought. Only Thomas Hawk name on the phone, drop the S. Sounds like tomahawk. Great cutting device. Interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Good catch there, Dandy. See, I knew I kept you around here for some reason. No, you know I love you, girl. You're my right hand lady right now. That keeps me from totally going into the S hole. Yes, Jocelyn also makes an excellent point. Jocelyn says, usually criminals like him like to confess and talk about all his crimes. Let's hope he sings like a canary soon. Absolutely. Let's hope that he is a singer. I'll listen to him sing all day long. Yes. Yes, Dandy. Absolutely. Dandy says BTK played games and used code. Absolutely. And if you look, and I still got to finish what I've got distracted as usual. I went to my own Twilight Zone. As Carolyn would say from Unknown Secrets, I've gone outside the perimeter right now. But if you look at that picture, so on the left is the genius lawyer, and then you have Mr. Heuermann, and that look on his face, it's almost like he's smirking or sneering or wanting to smile. It's horrifying. It is disgusting. Just tell me if you guys agree. Does Heuermann not look like he's wanting to let a big old smile out when they're talking about these search terms? Okay, so back to the search terms before I get even I'm on the crazy train, as Ozzy would say, and I've gone off the tracks. So let's get back on the tracks for a minute, because I want to get to the part that what the lawyer says. So the lawyer, what was his name? Michael Brown, something Brown. Now I got ads popping up in front of me. So the lawyer says, okay, searching the internet, ask yourselves what you searched on your computers and your phones. Brown told reporters Tuesday, after prosecutors alleged that they found a series of queries for violent, I can't say the P word, I'm going to say CSAM. It may not necessarily be child, but all this stuff they found on Heuermann's devices in new court filings. The lawyer says one thing leads to another. You see a show about something, you start searching. They talk about how somebody got harmed. You start searching, and they talk about another way, and you start searching. Think about if they looked at your own personal search history, how all of a sudden you're guilty because of your search history. Does that make sense to anybody? Or is it just me? Is that not the most asinine thing that you have ever heard? I mean, I'm not, when I first got my first smartphone, I wasn't, the most technical, but I think I've become fairly efficient in using the Google machine now. I have never, ever even thought about looking up the search terms that he looked up. And there's a whole, you guys have probably seen the list. There's a whole long list of horrible, horrible things that he looked up. Never once have I even thought about looking up anything remotely close. And this thing is, oh, it's just he happened to look at this and that, and then one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden, I'm calling BS. That's the only way I can put it. It just blew my mind when I read that. Really, that's the best that you can come up with, Mr. Brown, whatever he is, the lawyer. Oh goodness. So you guys let me know what you think out there about this explanation. Let's see. Let me go back and look at comments. Jocelyn says, yes, BTK also enjoyed talking in depth about his crime scenes. Yeah, and BTK, I watched when I guess his when he pled guilty and he had to tell about all his crimes, and just the matter of fact, just like he was explaining, like how to make a sandwich. It just still sends chills at my spine when I think about how he just matter of factly just told how he did what he did, and just it didn't faze him. It's horrifying. Yep, Dandy says, I can't imagine that face being the last thing I saw in my final moments. Me either. I've always said, once again, any of you who watch me on a regular basis, I cannot, of course, I cannot look at pictures of John Wayne Gacy in that clown get up, because I don't like clowns. I don't. Okay, so I can watch like creepy clowns in horror movies sometimes. The only one I can really watch on a regular basis is Tim Curry playing Pennywise in the original miniseries of It. But just the clowns in general, I don't like clowns, so I can't look at pictures of John Wayne Gacy and the clown get up. But I also cannot look at pictures, especially that one, the famous one in the courtroom or wherever, of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Just the evil eyes and the look on his face. To me, that is the devil in the flesh. Heuermann, he's right up there with the looks that he has, because it's just pure. To me, it's just evil, pure evil. Jocelyn agrees. Jocelyn agrees with the comment. Yes, Nan R. That interview. Nan says Rex sure looks creepy, and he really liked talking about himself as being the best in that architecture interview. Yes, that architecture interview. Thanks for reminding me of that. I'd almost forgot about that. That's creepy too. Just knowing what we know now. Allegedly, what we know now about what he's done, allegedly done. Big creep. And see, I have grown up all my life watching and loving horror movies. You can ask my brother was here earlier. Echoes 14 was here earlier. We grew up on horror movies since we were most definitely too young to start watching them. So I've never been I love weird stuff and creepy stuff. I always have, in horror movies and the paranormal and UFOs and all that good stuff. But it's the real life stuff, because I guess it's because the movies and the TV shows and all this stuff it's not real. It's not real life. This is real life, and that's what makes it so obviously just so horrifying and so scary, that people like that are out there. But thank goodness, due to DNA, the advances in DNA, that a lot of these offenders, that's how they're catching, or DNA is helping to build cases along with the other evidence against these serial offenders. And hopefully, if they are the offenders, they will have their day in court, and these victims will get their justice, and the victims' families. Yeah, I like that. Dandy says, his search history is a cringe for Fox's sake. Yep. Yep, that's a good point. Nan says, you'll see lots of searches about my back fractures. I'm sorry about your back fractures. I hope you're okay. And lab test results, nothing crime related, even though I watch lots of trials. Yeah, see, well, I suppose my search history on my phone and computer could be considered strange because just because I do research for my true crime stuff, I mean, I search for serial offenders because I can't, once again, I can't say the K word on YouTube. Serial offenders, my search history, they may question it, but I mean, I have a legitimate reason. I promise I do. I have a legitimate reason for looking up using some of the search terms that I use, but looking up search terms about serial offenders and true crime is not even close to it's not even in the same book as these search terms that Heuermann allegedly used. It's not even in whole different ball game, ballpark, everything. All the cliches, it's not even close. Yeah. I hate that too, Jocelyn. That's what you hear me trying not to curse at my computer when I'm trying to read from an article because ads. Jocelyn says, I hate searching for things just because of all the ads that pop up after I search something. Yeah, telling you. Ads, I hate them. But we have to put up with them, I guess, to get things for free. Oh yeah. Once again, I'm sorry about my hand going across the screen, but I can't use my right hand. Danny says that interview was telling. He sure likes his hammer. It's his favorite tool. Yeah. Apparently hammers and belts and burlap sacks and whatever else, God forbid, that he used. So scary. I'm just so glad that he is behind bars right now. See what I've missed. See, that's what the point that I was making. Danny says, if anyone ever looks at my searches, I'm screwed. I Google everything I'm curious about. I know. But once again, I don't now, unless I'm just badly misjudging your character. I don't think even yours or my search terms would even come close to what he searched for. Um, Yes, Jocelyn says, same at Southern Gal True Crime. I grew up on scary movies at a young age. I started watching true crime shows at a young age. Me too. Why didn't I major in criminal justice? Exactly. If I was smarter, I probably would have tried to gone into some kind of a criminal not like lawyery stuff, but like try to be like a detective or a private investigator or something. And actually, I do have, and I don't know if my brother, if Echoes is still in here, a niece who is now, she is a criminal profiler, I believe. She's got her all her degrees and masters and whatever it is that she has. Of course, I'm not saying names of any of my family members because there are crazy people out there who might try to find. We all know about the trolls and the crazies on YouTube. That's why I don't give any of my family members names. Um, but yeah, I have a niece who is a criminal profiler. So I would love to pick her brain. So next time, hopefully, I'll get to see some of my family up there in the north soon. So yeah, I would love to, like I said, but I don't have the smarts to do it. I can use logic, and I've learned how to use by watching the professionals, deductive reasoning, and all and just common sense is a lot of it. But yeah, um, yes, absolutely. We were talking about this earlier. Danny says I'm disgusted about his wife and the fact that she's profiting off of what he's accused of. Yes, the son of Samuel. I think, in my opinion, the son of Sam law, which Dandy had to remind me what that law was called the other day because I couldn't remember. I definitely, the offender can't make money off of it, but in my opinion, this is just my opinion, any family members of alleged accused offenders shouldn't be able to make any money off of it either. Like I said, that's just my opinion. And but I think it's a lot of opinions of you guys out there too. Ooh, Dandy, you reminded me of something. She was asking Jocelyn, but did you ever watch the Faces of Death movies? I did. Brutal. Yes, I remember me, and I can't remember if it was my brother, one of my brothers. I can't remember. I have two younger brothers. I can't remember which one it was. And a couple of my friends went to the movie theater to see one of the Faces of Death movies. And they handed out the little certificate if you made it all the way through. Oh my goodness. Yes, it was definitely, excuse me, definitely brutal. I couldn't do it now. And this was back when I was probably in my early to mid 20s, maybe early 30s. I couldn't do it now. Um, and I have, and things like that don't bother me except for the fact that somebody lost their life. But you know, I think I would have made a perfect CSI person because I can compartmentalize and would be able to look at, even though it would be disturbing still, would be able to look at the crime scenes and but yeah, those movies were, mm. Oh goodness. Jocelyn says, I work in a prison close enough. God bless you, girl. You stay safe. Yes, Dandy was explaining they were rentable movies from back in the Blockbuster days. Gory and only found in the local movie rental hole in the wall. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the only one I ever watched, we went to one of the local movie theaters showed it. And like I said, if you made it through the movie, and a lot of people did, and a lot of people got up and left before, 5 minutes into it. But if you made it through the movie and came out, they give you like this little certificate thing that said, I survived the whatever it said. I do too, Jocelyn. Jocelyn, y'all must be around the same age I am. Jocelyn says, she says, I miss the Blockbuster days. Oh yeah. I remember when once again, we're going outside the perimeter, but that's okay. We can talk about whatever. That's what late night lives are for. Like Mr. Steve used to have his morning watch. We would start out talking about true crime, but it would always devolve, as he said, into Waffle House talk. Waffle House sounds really good right now too. Yes, I miss the Blockbuster days. I remember when we didn't have a Blockbuster in our little town, but we did have, because the town that we live, I still live in and we grew up in, and my youngest brother and sister-in-law are still here, is less than 2,000 people. We had we did have a video rental store, and we had to actually rent the VCR and the VCR tapes because we didn't even own a VCR. So that would be our treat, maybe once or twice a month. On a weekend, we'd get to go and rent a VCR and maybe one or two VHS tapes, and we would watch the heck out of them for 2 days. Yeah, so I remember those days. Those days. I don't know how to take this. Dandy says I touch people for a living. That's funny. I don't know if I've ever asked you or if you ever said what you did for a living, Dandy. Oh, wait a minute. What is courting? Quarting. What did I miss? I missed something. You know me. Apparently, Jocelyn doesn't understand either because she says, please explain. What is courting? What did I miss? Okay, so Dandy says she is a licensed massage therapist. Gotcha. No good endings here, though. Good to know. Good to know, Dandy. Okay, I guess we really get a. You got everybody laughing. Jocelyn's about to fall over around there. I'm about to fall out of my chair, but that's just because I'm old and clumsy. Okay, goodness. Oh, well, we're just an hour in. We're not doing bad. We can be here all night long. Okay, so are we done with, did I finish with Mr. Heuermann? No, I didn't finish. So Brown, the lawyer, said he also downplayed the new DNA testing that prosecutors presented as major new evidence in their case against Heuermann, and revealed detectives had been surveilling his client for a year and a half before the arrest on July 13, 2023. Well, duh, that's what detectives do. My sarcasm is really, really coming out tonight. See, that's why I like to do like kind of a later night, what I call it, true crime after dark, where I can kind of be a little bit more sarcastic and give a little bit more of my opinion when I do my videos and my primetime or not so primetime lives. I try to be more professional and like you're supposed to be on YouTube, and that I want to be respectful and everything. But this, I'm telling you, this lawyer. So he's downplaying the evidence. Yeah, of course. Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney said cutting edge advances in SNP, which is SNP, it is stands for something. Oh, let me see if I can pronounce this. Single nucleotide polymorphisms. I think I said that right. So SNP, that's much easier to say, led to an overwhelming match in the case that he called the gold standard. Yeah, because I think they said this DNA that they found that led to the charging him also being charged for murdering Brainard-Barnes. It excluded 99.98 of the rest of the population of the whole world. So I say that was a pretty good odds. As old Han Solo would say, though, don't tell me the odds. Okay, so the Gilgo Four, as Heuermann's alleged victims have become known, were among 11 bodies discovered after police received the call from Shannon Gilbert. We know about that. I still want to know about that too. I'm still not sure. I might have to get caught up on comments. I'm still not sure about Shannon. Something did happen. Bad did happen to Shannon. I don't know if it had anything to do with Rex Heuermann, but something definitely happened to her in that house. She was bipolar, but I think she was given some kind of substance, because once again, I don't think I can use the D word either. Some kind of substance, and bad things were going to happen to her, and she knew it or thought it, and that's why she took off out of that house and ended up dead. But yeah, I still don't trust her driver. I don't trust him at all. Something very sketchy about her driver. While investigators eventually declared that Shannon's death was an accident, both Brown and the lawyer for her family, John Ray, continued to cast doubt on that conclusion. Blah, blah, blah. Regardless, the sheer number of bodies in the same general area rattled the community. Police went years without a suspect. Okay, so we know all this. With regard to those other victims and those other homicides, the task force will continue to investigate those cases. But like I said earlier, what we've all been saying, oh Lord, I wish they could use that DNA they have now to compare to put in the CODIS and compare to everywhere. But I know due process rights, I understand all that, and definitely don't want anything done that could compromise his trial or whenever it happens. Or there's a lot of people that think Heuermann will end up playing out somehow. But, okay, let me see what I missed. Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. And Jocelyn is an RN. So we have massage therapists and RNs in here. I was a PCA, a home health caregiver at one time, if that counts for anything. But I did do some CNA stuff that I wasn't supposed to. But hey, so let's see what we got. Yeah, okay, I got you now. Quartering. I know what quartering is. Yes. Yep. They tie a rope to the extremities and the horse in 4 directions. Yes, I know. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Dandy says we got after dark snark going. That's good. I think Gisela on Grizzly True Crime, she's like snarky, the snarkiness. Oh, Jocelyn hadn't heard of quartering. Yeah, it was pretty awful. They would do it to back in the olden days. They would do it to people. Um, yeah, the rope around each arm and each leg and attach the other end to horses, and they all go in in separate directions. Yeah, not pleasant, not pleasant. Right, what else did I miss? Yes, Dandy says Shannon was no accident. Yep, something happened. Something. Now, whether or not, like I said, it has anything to do with Heuermann, it has something to do with something. Something's not right. Something's rotten in Denmark. And like I said, I don't trust that driver, because he was supposed to be her driver, her protector. It was his job to drive her, to protect her, to make sure nothing happened to her. Why did he just abandon her after a few minutes of her? She was a little thing. He could just picked her up, and even if she was on something, or if she was having a bipolar episode, pick her up and throw her in the car and take her somewhere safe. You don't just leave her to. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But you guys know what I'm saying. Jocelyn agreed, not an accident. Yes, Dandy says, I love what I do. I hope you do too. Talking to Jocelyn. Everyone should love what they do for money. Makes for a better planet. Exactly. And I did home health caregiving for 10 years. I absolutely loved it. And Jocelyn said, you're an RN, so you can relate. When you're in, and I was not nowhere close to a nurse, but even just being a PCA, a CNA, and working with older folks, especially when they get the dementia, and the Alzheimer's, and it just it takes a toll on you. Maybe not necessarily physically, but mentally and emotionally. And I did it for 10 years, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I had to leave it. But after I get back from my Mardi Gras trip in the first week of February, I'm going to once again become a gameful, productive member of society. Find me something else to do. We got lots of. Nan says she is a retired RN. God bless y'all on RNs. Yes, I actually, and when I was a home health caregiver, a lot of my clients, I'm trying to think of how many, at least two clients I had, their daughters were nurses, and one client that I had, her daughter was a doctor, actually. So God bless, especially the nurses. I mean, doctors are wonderful, but I know that RNs do the bulk of the really, really, really important stuff. And not saying that what doctors do aren't important, but just from the nurses that I've been around. No, actually, I've had 3 clients that their daughters were nurses, because one client I had, his daughter worked at the Arkansas Children's Hospital. But anyway, God bless nurses. God bless all first responders, fire, police, fire, EMS, nurses, everybody, and that gets out there and gets it done and takes care of people on a daily basis. God bless all of you. Yes, Dandy says lots of professionals here. Love it. Absolutely. Oh, so Jocelyn, so you're a nurse that works in, are you the one that, I'm totally blanking out and confused. Are you the one that works in the prison? So you're a nurse in the prison? Prison nurse. I know that's not probably the proper, a corrections nurse. If I'm if I'm wrong, if I'm getting confused about who said that they were in a, I know somebody said that they worked at a prison and that they were a nurse. She said you're a corrections nurse. That reminds me, I watch a lot of Live PD, or it's called On Patrol Live now. I also watch a lot of old cops episodes and jail episodes. And the jail episodes, I feel so sorry for those nurses that have to deal with them, especially the drunk people that come in. Oh my gosh, I would not have the patience. They got to be y'all. Got to Dave is here. Dave's in the house. Welcome, Dave. Dave is listening and driving. You be careful. Are you checking on the owls? I know you're probably checking on your owls. I want to know. I want to hear. I'm gonna have to have you come on a show with me one night, Dave, just to talk about what you do with the owls. I want to know so bad. So Dave is listening and driving. So welcome, Dave. Be careful driving and stay warm. Uh, Yep, everybody's welcoming Dave. I'm so behind in comments, and I'm hour and 16 in. That's all right. My free hours just reset on my free StreamYard plan, so I got plenty of hours to use. Oh Lord, Dave says I used to date an RN. Does that count? Oh my goodness, we love Dave. We love you so much. And Dave did a live once again in the middle of it's almost 1 o'clock here Central Time. I think it was late Friday night into early Saturday morning. Dave did a live. I was there, of course. I'm talking about Delphi. It was excellent, excellent videos, information, news. When I say videos, news videos, information he shared. Good chat. I think I did put a link to it on my community page. If you haven't already, please go check out Dave. And I'm gonna see either Jocelyn or Jocelyn. Dandy, if you can do Dave's channel, put a link to his channel in there, or I can do it here in a minute. Please go check out Dave. And if you can't stay up late, which apparently I think there's 8 people here, that is the most, I think almost the second most that I've ever had at a live, at one of my lives. So apparently that's why I was saying apparently there are a lot of people who stay up late. So that's why I decided to do this tonight to see how it would go. But yes, definitely go check out Dave. And Dandy, if you can't get his link in there, I've got I can go on my computer and do it. Yes, Dandy says my mom did healthcare for a lot of years. Caring for people is tough. Yes, it is, especially like I said, the older folks. Justin says yes, that's me. So you're a corrections nurse. Okay, gotcha. Bless you, girl. Bless you. All right. Trying to get back to everyone's back. I think we're in with our Rexy boy. Oh, that's sweet. Nan says, Dave, you do count. Of course, Dave counts. Dave is wonderful. Good. Thank you, Dandy. Dandy's got, oh, did I hit the wrong one? Or let me, oh, that's the right one. Please, yes, there's a link to Dave's channel. Please go check it out. Dave is a very sharp guy, very smart. Dave is awesome. Dave says we are all awesome. We are all awesome as a community. I admire anybody who all of you people, friends that I call you friends, my YouTube friends, and anybody who cares about these victims and these missing persons and these cold cases. You're all aces in my book. Yes, of course we are. We are all awesome. We can all work together. We can all work together to help try to do what we can to bring awareness to these cases and to these missing persons. Okay, let me quit babbling. But that's all right. That's what these late nights are for, is to babble and talk about whatever we want to talk about. So we done with Rexy. And if anybody here has ever seen the movie Empire Records, Sexy Rexy. Although this Rexy that was on the screen is definitely not Sexy Rexy, but whenever I hear Rex now, because I watched Empire, I love Empire Records. I watched that. No, Dandy says not everybody is a. Oh, okay. I thought you said peon, but I know what you're saying now. Anyway, okay. So next, I think we're going to go to talk about Lyric and Elizabeth Evansdale. So it has been 11 years, and I'm going to go on the assumption that most people here are familiar with the Evansdale, Lyric and Elizabeth. Lyric Cook, Elizabeth Morrissey. It has been 11 years. Of course, they were found, their remains. Mr. Steve, like I said, Mr. Steve, I know he's definitely been out there. I think Ruckus has been out there. If anybody, another one, if you've never checked out Ruckus Rocks, his link is in, go to for all my recommendations, go to, the homepage of my channel, scroll down to where it says visit our friends below. It has all the people that I admire and trust. Ruckus is on there, but yeah, I think Ruckus has been out there too, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Dandelion, this says that Rexy is not sexy. That's a hard pass and double note, just a personal preface. Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely not into that Rexy that was on the slideshow. Most definitely not. Okay. Okay, so back to business for a minute. And this comes from KCCI Des Moines, a news website. Case of Evansdale cousins still unsolved 11 years after the girls' bodies were found. And like I said, I think I have done a live where I haven't done a full, because anybody who wants to know the ins and outs of this case, visit True Crime Web, Chris at the Mob Crew, maybe Ruckus is, I think he's probably done videos, but definitely True Crime Web. If you want to know anything and everything that can, with this case, the Evansdale, Lyric and Elizabeth, check out True Crime Web. But I just want to try to do what little I can here on my channel to help keep it in the spotlight, because like I said, it's 11 years and they still haven't gotten justice yet. So December 5th of 2023 marked 11 years since hunters found the bodies of Elizabeth Collins and Lyric Cook, and investigators are still searching for who abducted and took their lives, and they were cousins. Their mothers were sisters, I believe. 8-year-old Elizabeth and 10-year-old Lyric were riding bikes in Evansdale near a popular recreational area in the middle of town when they disappeared July 13th, 2012. Investigators found their bikes and a pink purse near the lake hours later, but the two cousins were nowhere to be seen. Such a sad case. Callie Collins, who was Elizabeth's sister, was only 4 years old when the girls went missing. And in a 2017 interview, Callie said she remembered asking, and this, when I read this, because I had not heard this information. So Callie, Elizabeth's younger sister, says she remembered asking to join them on this bike ride, only to be told that she had to stay behind. So it could very well have been 3 little girls that went missing instead of just 2, if Callie, Elizabeth's little sister, had gone with them. And I did do, because I think I got distracted a while ago when I was talking about, I did do a live about this and a couple of other cases on about how rare it was for these double I have trouble saying abduction, double abductions, how rare they are. But we have the Lyric and Elizabeth case, and of course we have the Delphi case, but it is very, very rare. And I'm gonna have to look up if there's been more, the statistics, or if there is any documented cases of more than 2 being abducted at once. And I'm talking in like a serial offender kind of abductions, not like hostage type things. But anyway, I digress. So fortunately for Callie, she did not go on the bike ride. Hunters discovered Elizabeth and Lyric's bodies in a remote wildlife area in Bremer County 5 months after they went missing. The area where the bodies were found was about 25 miles from where the girls were last seen. It's still devastating every day not to have her, Heather Collins, Elizabeth's mother and Lyric's aunt, said in a 2022 interview ahead of the 10th anniversary of their abduction. It's the first thing you think of in the morning and the last at night. For me, it's very fresh. Doesn't seem like 10 years, Elizabeth's father, Drew Collins, said around the same time. And I believe Mr. Steve and Chris and Ruckus, I think they've all had conversations with Drew Collins. Drew Collins also spoke to KCCI on the 11th anniversary of when the girls were found. I can't think of anything that's been harder in my life than losing Elizabeth, Drew Collins said. You're trying to make sense out of something that is very senseless. I look at those little girls and I think, how could any normal human being hurt those little girls? Absolutely. I've always said it, and I always apologize for saying it, but then again, I don't apologize because it probably sounds rude and crass, but there is a special place in hell for anybody who would hurt a child in any form and fashion. Just, I don't understand it. So authorities never revealed the COD to the public because they believe it is information only the offender would know. So that's what I was saying about earlier about in cases, law enforcement, there's some things that's why they keep it to themselves, because of is to eliminate false confessions, or to say, hey, yeah, this could be or is the person, because they have information that only the offender would know. But you guys know that. You're smart. You're true crime buffs. You know this. Federal authorities and Evansdale police believe the offender is likely familiar with Evansdale and saw a window of opportunity to kidnap and harm the girls. Investigators said the culprit may also have attempted to abduct children in the past and may have tried to change their appearance after the girls' death. Lyrics, we're not going to go into that because that makes it's irrelevant. The Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation says that it has followed up on 2,000 leads in the case. They said they also monitor I have to be careful, child offenders in the Waterloo area and other surrounding areas. Around 2017, investigators looked into Jeff Altemeyer, who was charged with trying to entice entice children in Jasper, Monona, and Grundy County by offering them $100 to get into his van. Court records show that he was working as a traveling automobile damage field inspector, so he was allegedly in the area at that time. 2 other people did confess to the crime, but they were eliminated because they did not know intimate details about the case. Once again, going back to police withholding certain information. That's why they do it. Investigators have also drawn comparisons to another crime that happened in, any guesses? Delphi in 2017. The Indiana State Police compares notes with Iowa investigators, but said despite similarities, there's obviously no reason to believe the 2 cases are connected. In the 11 years since this tragedy occurred, no arrests have been made. Lyric and Elizabeth's families continue to get updates from the state investigators, the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation. That's a mouthful, especially this late at night or early in the morning. Says the investigation is still active. Myers Lake, which is now called Angels Park, and memorials for the girls are everywhere. To mark the 10-year anniversary, the city hosted a 10-mile ride and drive to raise money for Crime Stoppers. A cold case foundation has also been established in honor of Lyric and Elizabeth. The nonprofit organization dedicated to helping families of missing people started in 2022. Excuse me. The Elizabeth Collins Foundation partners with Cedar Valley Crime Stoppers to bring awareness to cold cases in hopes of garnering new tips and leads. The reward to find the person who took the lives of Lyric and Elizabeth is now more than $100,000. So if you have a tip, email the Division of Criminal Investigations at dci.info@dps.state.ia.us, or you can call the Cedar Valley Crime Stoppers at 855-300-8477. So that is Lyric and Elizabeth. It's another case. We need some answers. Let's see. I'm so behind in comments. I'm trying to get back to oh my goodness, y'all are. Now I'm like Mr. Steve now. Give me a second. I get get back when he doesn't have Mrs. Steve to go through the comments. Okay. Nan says she thinks a T-Rex. Yeah, that was an old, of course it's a dinosaur, but a T-Rex was an old rock and roll band. I like T-Rex. Let's see. Yes, there. Thank you. Dandy is on it. There is Ruckus Rocks link. Ruckus is awesome. Please check him out. Yes, there is a True Crime Web, Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve, the trooper who gets dragged, however you say it, through the woods when Mr. Steve does his recreations and experiments, but it's all for a good cause. She's a trooper. Definitely check out True Crime Web. Chris at the Mob Crew, there's his link. Another good guy, very sharp guy, very dedicated. Chris works, like I said earlier, alongside of Mr. Steve, Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets, and whoever else they have behind the scenes. God bless them for everything they do. Oh, Dave's chiming in. Dave said, yeah, I think I heard the story. Dave says, yes, Ruckus messed with all of Steve's electronics in his car in Evansdale. Yeah, I think I remember Mr. Steve telling that story. Well, I think I actually heard Mr. Steve's version and Ruckus's version, and of course they were very different. Okay, what Dave says, how much do I owe you for the intelligence thing? What do you mean, Dave? Oh, for saying that you were intelligent? You'll get my bill in the mail and put it on my tab. Yes. Ruckus. Yeah. Dandy says Ruckus is a who. Yes. Ruckus is a character. Now he can be. He's an absolute professional. As far as on screen, when he's taking care of business, talking about the crime, sharing whatever he's sharing about true crime or whatever case. And apparently, from what Mr. Steve said, he is the utmost respectful and very good with talking with victims of, I can't talk, with family members of victims. But Ruckus is a character. I love Ruckus. He cracks me up. And if you've ever watched L.A. Wilkes, Ruckus is on with L.A. a lot because L.A. is also a retired, I think he's retired, law enforcement. And if you get Ruckus and L.A. together, I'm telling you, you will fall. I mean, they take care of business when they need to, but when they get going, Lord have mercy, you better hold on because you will your laugh your arse off. All right, let's see what else we got going. Danny says, sorry, I live in Colorado and I have a lighter. What? Evidently I'm missing a lot of stuff. Nan says, the only other person other than Steve's True Crime Web channel that I've been on is here now for my first time. Well, thank you. I'm honored. I'm going to have to check out all the other sites you listed in chat. Yes, definitely. We would not steer you wrong. Because I watch, and I've said this before, y'all, if y'all, my listeners that have been here before always hear me say, when I first got on here, before I even started my channel, when the Idaho 4 Koberger thing happened, I devoured every bit of information I could from that because that was the first crime like that had happened in a long, long time. So it just caught my attention. So after I went to YouTube, after I devoured all the news, 24-hour news cycle and anything I could find on the internet about it. So I went to YouTube to find any more information. And I quickly found the True Crime World here on YouTube. And then I also quickly found out the good from the bad, meaning you have ones that, when I say bad, are just in it for the clicks and the money and the baiting and controversy and conspiracy theories. I stay away from all that crap. I stick to the ones like Chris and Mr. Steve and Ruckus and now my new friend I found or the Dandelinis and introduced me to Miss Frankie, no drama, just the facts, good vibes. Yeah, so we won't steer you wrong with any of these channels. I would not allow them to be their links to be posted in my chat if I did not have complete faith in them and know that they are good people and doing this for the right reasons. So yes, Nan. Yep. Absolutely. Jocelyn says they're all great channels. Yes. Yep. Everybody's agreeing. Yep. I also like Grizzly True Crime. I can't watch because I love Gisela. She was one of the first ones I started watching too when I got on here. I loved her coverage of the Idaho 4 case. I used to watch her all the time. Now she does a lot of, and some people may like this, but she does a lot of the streams the court cases that are allowed to be, that have court cameras in the courtroom. Now, some cases I might could sit and listen to, but I just, but I do watch her shorter videos that she does about cases that I haven't heard about. But yeah, I do like Gisela too. Most definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Danny says Gisela deserves her place in the true crime community. She's fabulous. I agree. I agree. And she has got so many subscribers, but she does excellent work. She is one of the best. Oh, Nan says she's been known to get around. I know what you mean. Yeah. Danny's like me. Danny says it's good to get around. I visit many channels and I'm in the know. I don't watch TV, but I keep up with the news. Yeah. I watch some local news, and then a little bit of national news, but most of the news I get, of course, I'm not into. I mean, I'm into news, but the news that I'm into is true crime news. So, of course, I come to YouTube to get all that from trusted sources. Yes, absolutely. Also visit Carolyn at Our Secrets. She, like I said earlier, she works with Mr. Steve. She is a geophysicist. Am I right, Dandy? She's some kind of scientist, a geophysicist, I believe. Yes, Dandy says she's intelligent and fun to watch. Yes, I wish she would do more. I told her because the last live she did was she did a New Year's Eve live. So much fun. She is such a funny person. But once again, when it comes down to business, she can take care of business. But Carolyn's a right to watch. And she's kind of into the paranormal, like I am too a little bit. And I told her me and her are gonna have to do a paranormal live together at some time because I do have a second channel I started. I got to get over there and get some stuff done on it. It was called Southern Gal Mysteries, but I changed it to Southern Gal Ramblings because I wanted to be able to talk about movies and music and anything, movies, music, paranormal, UFOs, weird stuff, anything. So I'm gonna have to get over there when I get time. But this is first and foremost the most important, the true crime, missing and cold cases. But yeah, I want to have time to get over and have some fun on my ramblings, my other channel. So if you guys want to check it out, I think the link is in the description box of my page. It's called Southern Gal Ramblings now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. Jocelyn says, that's around the same time I discovered Chris and Steve, and it's blossomed from there with all these other great channels. I stay away from these smut channels too. Yes, I was trying to come up with the word to use, but yeah, these channels that, because they got to realize these are tragedies, these are victims and victims' families, and when you just cover their version of covering or sharing these stories just to make money and get clicks and get subscribers and conspiracy theories and BS, I hate it. I just so hate it. But luckily, there are, like you said, very good channels out there, and that's what we need to stick to. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to watch. By all means, everybody has the right to watch whatever they want to, but please stick to the channels that the good ones. Exactly, Jocelyn. Jocelyn says I can't get into all the trials either, but I will watch RA and BK. Yes, I will too. Those are two that I will definitely be watching. Or if I'm working or whatever, I'll be DVRing it and watching it, binge watching it when I have time. Oh my gosh. I've been cold all night and now I'm sweating. Might have to might have to start disrobing. No, I have a t-shirt on under this. I don't know if you can see, I have my Brett my Bret Michaels t-shirt tonight. I got good old Bret with me tonight. Okay. Trying to get caught up with 2 hours in. We're doing all right. Yeah, Dave says Cop Facts is great too. Yes, I'm subscribed to Cop Facts, but I have not had time to. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I'm burning up. I haven't had time to. I need to get over there and binge watch some Cop Facts because I've heard good things about Cop Facts. Once again, I'm trying not to put my in front of the camera. Yeah, Nan says, I have time to watch trials and they're a good distraction. Plus, I love learning new things. Absolutely. It's always good to learn new things. See, I can watch a trial. It depends on what trial. Now, definitely homicide trials I could watch because I don't want to say it's interesting because it's horrible, but horrible and interesting at the same time, if y'all know what I'm trying to say. I could watch true crime, like you said, the Koberger and Delphi and those kind of trials. And I did watch some of, I think on YouTube here, some of the Murdoch trial. That's another one that I didn't even do any videos about that because I think that was Murdoch was going on around the time. I think it might have been before I even started my channel. But I did watch some clips about Murdoch. But I just can't stand anyway. Okay, I'm still trying to. Dave said, Gisela is awesome. I would love it if she and Cop Facts would do another live on Flora. Yeah, the Flora 4 case. That's another one that I have not done a video on because there are so many excellent in-depth videos that have been done about that. I think Ruckus has worked on or covered that extensively. Because I think I watched Ruckus. I think Ruckus, Mr. Steve, and LA did a live together. This has been a while ago, and I think Flora is what they were talking about, and that might have been the first time I'd heard about the Flora 4. But so I looked into it and watched their videos, and that is just another awful, awful. That is one that needs to be resolved too. There's something rotten going on down with that case too, with the way those little girls were treated after they were deceased. Disgraceful. So I see y'all mentioning Karen Reed or Red. It's really hard to decipher. Something seems very off. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna have to look at that. Okay, so Dandy has a link. Okay, thanks, Dandy. I'll have to check that out to see what you're talking about. I'm but I'm so proud too. I'm having fun with you guys. I hope y'all having fun. Let's see. That's a good idea. Nan says that she keeps taking screenshots so she can check out these great channels. Yes, most of these channels I have links to on the homepage of mine. I have True Crime Web, the Mob Crew, and Our Secrets, Dave, Ruckus, and now Think Tank, Miss Frankie. I have her on there too. All right. Oh, I think I'm caught up. All right. Let's see what we got next. Oh, I can't see the slide. What does the slide say? Oh, okay. Yes, this. I want to bring up this because I've had it in my browser to do. I was going to do a full video on this, but I've been searching and searching for information on this missing lady. but there's just not a whole lot of information, so I decided to include it tonight because when it comes to, and I'm not preaching, but we all know it's true, when it comes to missing persons, people of color, and indigenous people are very, in my opinion, very I'll say undercovered, but that doesn't make any sense. They don't get enough awareness, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. So I try to do the best I can to share cases of people of all colors, Black, white, indigenous, Native American, it doesn't matter to me. All these people are important, but indigenous women are some of the least covered and shared cases that there are. So I just wanted to share. You see here is Jody Fern Howard. She was an I'm having trouble talking. An indigenous woman. She disappeared from a gas station in 1991. You can see her. Let me find her information. She went missing on October 7th, 1991. She was only 28 years old. Female, black hair. She was a Native American indigenous. And she disappeared. Let me read her information. Like I said, I was going to do a full video on this, but I've searched and searched, and this comes from uncover.com. This is the most information I found. But anyway, so Jody Fern Howard vanished from a gas station on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation in Wolf Point, Montana in 1991. For more than 30 years, her family has wondered what happened to Jody. A member of the Fort Peck, and I hope I say this right, Assiniboine and Sioux tribes, Jody Howard's disappearance is one of more than 60 unsolved missing persons cases in Montana, many of which are indigenous women. Jody Fern Howard was a 28-year-old indigenous member of the Fort Peck, Assiniboine, and Sioux tribes living in Fraser, Montana, when she went missing on October 7th, 1991. Jody was a mother to 4 sons and maintained a close relationship with her immediate and extended family, which included 3 brothers and a sister who also lived in Fraser at the time. According to her family, Jody was an outgoing and friendly person. One of her brothers characterized Jody's personality by saying she greeted everyone she knew. So the day she went missing, there is very limited information about the day Jody disappeared. She was last seen at the Town Pump gas station in Wolf Point, Montana on October 7th, 1991. And after she left there, no one heard from her or saw her again. Her family indicated that it was unlike Jody to go long stretches without contacting them. According to the Charlie Project, her aunt stated they were in contact regularly. I have to learn to enunciate properly. And saw her at least every other day. Despite that fact, her family did not report Jody missing until November 10th of 91, which was more than a month after she disappeared. At the time she went missing, she was a 28-year-old, once again, Native American, 5 foot 4 inches tall, approximately 125 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Said she had very white teeth and 2 distinguishing marks, a tattoo on one of the fingers of her left hand and a birthmark on the right side of her neck. She's still missing, once again, after more than 30 years. According to one report from 1994, Nelson Hart, the investigator originally assigned to this case on behalf of the Bureau of Indian Affairs, thought that foul play may have been involved because the funds in Jody's tribal bank account had not been touched in the 3 years since her disappearance. And for many years after she went missing, law enforcement officials received several reports of sightings of Jody near her hometown and in surrounding states, but none of these tips led to finding Jody. So unknown if apparently they weren't credible or they just didn't pan out. In 1995, approximately 4 years after Jody's disappearance, law enforcement officials decided to examine the validity of a rumor that had been floating around stating that Jody her life had been taken and she had been dumped into the Brockton Lagoon near Poplar, Montana. So officials drained the lagoon. They searched, but they did not find anything. So where does the case stand today? It is still unsolved, unfortunately. Jody's case is still unsolved, along with countless other cases where the victim is an indigenous person. According to Native Women's Wilderness, hold on. According to Native Women's Wilderness, indigenous women are victims of homicide of a rate that is 10 times the rate of other ethnicities. As Missing and Red Room Indigenous Person Awareness Day approaches, which is May 5th, it is more important than ever to put more attention on these cases. Absolutely. 10 times. Indigenous women are the victims 10 times the rate of other ethnicities. And I had heard this statistic before, but it just still blows my mind. So if you have any information or anyone with information regarding Jody Fern Howard's disappearance, should contact the Roosevelt County Sheriff's Department at 406-653-6216 or Montana Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 406-444-2800. So once again, that is Jody Fern Howard. It's just so sad that statistic, just every time I hear it blows my mind. Like I said, I just strive to, it doesn't matter what ethnicity anybody is, they're all victims. In my opinion, it doesn't matter what, everybody should be given the equal coverage, and law enforcement should give equal, how should I put this? Because I'm definitely not anti-law enforcement, but I just think in some cases, some individuals, maybe not whole departments, just don't put, we'll say, the best effort into some cases. I'll just leave it at that. But definitely, I will put a link to this, as always, in the description box. So please, like I said, this came from uncover.com. Please share it, this link, anywhere and everywhere you can. All right, let's see what I've missed. Let's see. So Danny says it's a mind-blowing case. Are you talking about the Karen Reed or Reed? I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you, Dandy. Yes, please hit that like button for the stream. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like Dandy says, it's all free. I'm not here to make money. It would be nice if I could make a living doing this. That would be my dream job. But my I do have the buy me a coffee, but I am, if anybody donates, I am, like I said earlier, going to, portions of donations will go to the True Crime Web Foundation to help them. They need all the help they can get with funding to go out and help these family members that have missing missing loved ones, they go out and help on these cases. They've done a lot of work in the Amber Crum case from Texas. They have a lot of things evidently in the works. I'm so excited to, when they can say something, tell us what they have in the works for this coming year. They're going to be out doing a lot of good work. Let's see. Now Dandy's got me really about this Karen. If you're talking about the Karen case, I'm gonna have to go check it out. Yes, Jocelyn says I agree. They all deserve the same attention. Absolutely, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, and I'm sure it's in most 99.99 of law enforcement and investigations. They do treat them all equally, but yeah, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter what your background is, what you may have been doing when something happened to these victims, their race, ethnicity, religion, none of that matters. They're all victims. They all deserve to be treated equally and investigated equally. So let's just, like I said, I'm I'm optimistic. I'm sure that most, like I said, 99.99, they all get, do the best they can. But I think a lot of it has to do, the media just doesn't, um just the media selects. We all know what cases, and not that the victims that are all over the media are not important, but we all know the type of victims that are given the most attention in the media, and I don't think it's fair. But anyway, I don't have I don't have any say over what the media does and what they want to put out there. But that our wonderful people here on YouTube and the other creators who cover, like me, cover all kinds of cases. Yep, definitely join the think tank at Discord. Yep, and like I said, I've also started mine. I haven't got a whole lot up there yet, but you can check that out. Yep, buy me a coffee or a tea or a pizza or whatever. Like I said, portion of whatever's donated will be given donated to True Crime Web Foundation. Pronounced like Reed. Okay, thank you, Nan. I kept wanting to say Red. Karen Reed. Okay. Thank you, Dandy. Dandy says that's what you're here for, spreading the word. That's what we're all here for. I share cases with whoever like decides to tune into my lives and watch my videos. I share with you guys in hopes that you share with somebody else and they share with somebody else, and on and on and on. The more we share, the more awareness that it brings to more people. Hey, I'm in the same boat. Jocelyn says, I just joined Discord now to figure out how to use it. Yeah, me too. Like I said, I was just pushing buttons after Dandy she sent me an invite to the think tank um server or whatever it's called. So I joined it, and then I got to messing around and got my profile set up, and then I pushed a button that said create your own server. I'm like, well, heck, why not? I probably got it all messed up. But anyway, I'm gonna work on it when I get time, and so you can go check it out. I don't know if I've got the right link. I know I've got an invite link that I put and Dandy, when we have time, sometime tomorrow or sometime, you might have to ask you how to do it, to put the link to my actual server, because I just put a link to an invite, but it says it expires after 7 days because I clicked on it, went in under a different browser and clicked on it to test it. But anyway, I'll get it figured out. If not, I can figure out how to do an invite link and put it in the chat if you're not here to do it. honest, I didn't make it without Andy. I'm telling you, or Dave, because I think Dave has a wrench and Andy has a wrench, and hey, Dave's still here. He agrees 100% with something. Glad you're still here, Dave. Are you still driving? Did you get the house taken care of? I hope so. Oh, that's sweet. Andy says family and friends need more people like you. They, not just me, all of us. They need more people like all of us that care, and who are here either creating or supporting creators who are trying to do the right thing for the right reasons. It takes all of us, guys, all of us, not just the creators. I said I'm just a goofy woman sitting in front of not even a real camera. It's my phone, just trying to get the word out to as many people as I can. I couldn't do it without you guys coming in and supporting and watching and liking and subscribing and sharing and all that good stuff. That helps more than anything. Oh, Dandy's gonna go fetch something. I don't know what she's gonna fetch. There's no telling. Okay. Ooh. Wow, we got 10 people. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to start doing more late nights. It is 1:36 Central Time here in the United States, and there is 10 people in here. That is the most, and it's not a lot for some creators, but for me, a small channel like mine, having 10 people in here at 1:30 in the morning, I am over the moon right now, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who's commenting, everybody who's lurking. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I'm blown away right now. And I'm up to, I forgot to, let me go check hold on. 1 second. I'll try not to go into the upside down when I'm pushing buttons. Oh, or to the wrong one. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'll get this. I'm trying not to blow anything up. I'm up to 409 subscribers, so that excites me. Like I said, that's may not seem like a lot, but for my channel, I'm so proud. My next goal is try to take baby steps, but 450, 500, I'm shooting for it. I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you, everyone. Get back to business for me. Okay, so what we got going on next? Yes, Dave says Frankie is awesome. Yes, actually, Shauna said that she found my channel while I was in a chat of one of your lives. Shauna Cawthron, I think was the name, and she told Miss Frankie about me or something, and Miss Frankie checked out my channel, and I tended to, Miss Frankie had 2 lives, one this morning and then one late morning, early afternoon, and we became fast friends, fast YouTube friends. I love Miss Frankie already. Yeah, there is my Discord. So anybody, like I said, I don't have a whole lot up there. I did go through and put in some, I went in there and put some links to some stories and some videos that I covered. Hey, Jocelyn, you are like me. Jocelyn says I just push buttons and see what happens. Me too. That's how the dumpster fires occur, and that's how I go into the upside down and whatever else happens. But usually Dandy is there to save my arse when something like that happens. Dandy, like I said, you're here to save me. Okay, let's see what we got next on the platter. Okay. This is because y'all know me, any of my regular viewers know I love these very, very old cold cases that are solved. So I found one from 1975. And this, thank goodness, It's horrible, but it did not involve a homicides. But what I need to put a disclaimer up, trigger alert, adult content, because this does involve young girls. I won't be graphic, but it does involve young girls. Okay, so this comes from WFLA website, and this is from Indianapolis, Indiana. It said the Indianapolis Police Department, and this is from, when was it published? I think 2 days ago, once again. Just says 2 days ago. It says Indianapolis, or IMPD Police Department, announces 1975 SA stabbing cold case of 3 young girls is solved. They have solved in quotations. So, the Indianapolis Metro, okay, so that's what IMPD stands for, Indianapolis Metro Police Department, announced detectives have solved a 1975 cold case involving the abduction and assault of 3 young girls. Once again, trigger warning. IMPD says the suspect abducted the trio over 48 years ago on August 19th, 1975, around 10:45 p.m. Candace Smith, 13, Sherry Rottler Trick, 11, and Kathy Rottler, 14, were leaving a gas station on Washington Street near Belmar Avenue, which is on the city's east side. The girls decided to hitchhike, which was very common back in the 60s and 70s to hitchhike. And a man driving a station wagon pulled over and offered to give them a ride. As the girls approached their destination, they attempted to get out of the vehicle, but the suspect threatened them at gunpoint, and before stopping the car near a cornfield in Hancock County. Police detailed that the suspect forced the 3 girls out of the vehicle. He bound 2 of them. He then SA'd one of the girls before stabbing her. During the attack, the suspect also stabbed the other 2 girls numerous times. And as the girls laid in the cornfield, the suspect fled the area. IMPD said the older girls walked toward the highway, flagged down help, and all 3 victims survived the attack. So thank God for that they all survived. Horrible that they were assaulted, but at least they survived. So police from several jurisdictions, including Indiana State Police, investigated the incident, looked for a possible suspect. After several leads were followed and a sketch was drawn, which is you see on the right side of the slide. Unfortunately, the investigation stalled out and went cold. While newspaper articles at the time did include the police sketch of the suspect, no one was ever charged with this crime. Kathy Rottler, who is one of the victims, said, "I stand here today as a survivor who has learned the true meaning of patience." I want to make sure I didn't skip something. Okay. In 2018, IMPD an IMPD sergeant reopened the case and worked to have evidence and DNA, once again, DNA, that has been the theme for the night, analyzed. In 2021, the Marion County Crime Lab recovered DNA evidence linking to a possible suspect. In 2023, a genetic genealogy was completed by DNA Labs International in Florida, and the Forensic Intelligence System, which apparently is the newest Forensic Investigation Genetic Genealogy, or FIG for short, was designed specifically for challenging forensic samples, said Steve Dubois, a client experience specialist at DNA Labs International. This testing enabled the development of a DNA profile 48 years later that was then used by DLI's genealogy team to generate a new investigative lead for law enforcement. DLI was also able to confirm this investigative lead using DNA kinship testing. And it says funding for the testing was provided by Audio Chuck, which is apparently an Indianapolis-based media company. So the assault suspect was identified as Thomas Edward Williams, who passed away in November of 1983 in a Galveston, Texas prison. My dad was born in Galveston, actually. So he passed away in prison. The retired Sergeant David Ellison said this was an act of evil that none of you deserved, talking to the victims. Absolutely. He said, I hope this brings you some sort of closure knowing your attacker has been identified. And it says that he has worked on this case for years. IMPD leadership said solving the cold case illustrates the department's dedication to finding justice for all victims. My message today is if you commit a crime in Indianapolis, we're going to hold you accountable no matter how long it takes. The message of hope was shared by the 3 survivors. It's put peace within my heart, said survivor Candace Smith. And my message to other survivors is never give up, said Rottler. So there is another case, old case, almost 48-year-old case that was eventually solved by DNA and using genetic genealogy. So anyway, I hope you guys found that as interesting and inspiring as I did. All right. Yeah, Danny says Frankie and community is small, loving, and fun. Yes, I love the community already, and I just was lucky enough and privileged enough to be invited to become a part of that community just today or yesterday, whatever day it is now. I'm looking forward to more of Miss Frankie in that community. Yeah, we're kicking the tires with Discord to figure out how to use it exactly, Nan. Let's see. Yep, unfortunately, that's Dandy says surviving an SA attack is a lifetime sentence for survivors. Exactly. Yep, I agree. Most definitely. Sorry, everything just jumped. Yeah, Nan says, I can't imagine having to survive an SA attack, but no choice for the victims. Yeah. Like I said, if they're, the silver lining is they did survive and they eventually got some measure of justice. At least they know who their attacker was. Unfortunately, he passed away before he could be prosecuted, but I don't know. Is there a statute of limitations on SA? I know there's not on homicide, but I know there's statute of limitations for there is a statute of limitations for a lot of things. Nan says, thank you at Southern Gal True Crime. Thank you for being here. Thank everybody for being here. Yep, Dandy. Dandy says, I suffered abuses as a child. I don't wish that on anyone. I don't either. Growing or in high school, I'm not going to give names, but in high school, one of my best friends was the victim of I don't know how I can say it. Family essay, if you know what I mean. That's the only way I know how to put it. And it's not obviously it's not a good thing. Um, so needless to say, she spent a lot of time at my house to get away from her house. So I'm so sorry, Dandy. Thoughts and prayers, good vibes to you. Nobody should ever have to go through that. All right. Well, we got 11 people here now. It's like every time I look up, there's more people here. Maybe I should have brought some more stuff into. I think I do have some more stories. Let's see what's next. I can't read it. Oh goodness, this is okay. This one's crazy, y'all. Yeah, Dave says absolutely horrible. Yes, you are correct, sir. Okay, so this story I have, let me find it. Let me find my bookmarks. Is can you imagine this? We were talking about horror movies earlier. This is like I mean, literally the plot to a horror movie. So this is from truecrimedaily.com. And it is from January 19th. So yesterday or the day before or last week or whatever day it is now. I'm not sure anymore. So new homeowners discover so trigger warning. It's not too bad, but trigger warning just in case. New homeowners discover human head and hands inside freezer. So you know, with a headline like that, you know where the story is. It's not going to be good. So this comes from Grand Junction, Colorado. So law enforcement officials are investigating a homicide after new homeowners discovered severed body parts inside their freezer recently. Can you imagine? On January 14th, Mesa County Sheriff's Office deputies were called to the 2900 block of Pinion Avenue after new residents at the address were cleaning out some items and found human remains. In an update, the sheriff's office said the medical examiner conducted an autopsy and confirmed that the human remains found at the address are a human head and human hands. According to KREX TV, on the day of the discovery, the new homeowners shared on social media that neighbors were welcome to come grab, quote, free stuff. And I'm trying not to laugh, but just the way they put this is horrible. Neighbors were welcome to come grab free stuff that had been left over from the previous tenants. And evidently someone was searching through a large freezer. I'm assuming they're talking about like one of them chest freezers. And they found body parts in a plastic bag under some meat. The sheriff's office said, our hope is to positively identify the victim while remaining respectful of the victim and the victim's families. Of course, I'm not in any way making light of this. It's just so bizarre. I mean, can you imagine? You bought this new house, and you're offering, going through it, and you have invite neighbors or whoever to come. Hey, you come get this junk, whatever. And somebody opens the freezer and you find human remains in it. Can you just imagine? I mean, I would just die of a heart attack right there. I would just kill over. But yeah, I found this just searching, and crazy, crazy stuff. All right, guys. Let's see if I got anything else. Let's see what's going on in chat. What am I missing? Y'all talking about cases and everything. I'm gonna have to go back later and because I usually go back and I'm like OCD, so I'll go back and watch my live streams and to see how bad I messed up or what kind of dumpster fires happened. But I like to also go back and watch the chat replay to see anything that I might have missed. Dandy says there's lots more traumatized by this than we'll ever know. Yeah, yeah. So I think Dandy or somebody mentioned that somebody needed to get harsher sentences than weed dealers. Yeah. So Jocelyn says, I agree. Danny Linus, they need harsher sentences for perpetrators of SA. They tend to get a couple of years and back out to do it again. Absolutely. I have seen, like you said, somebody, somebody that, and I don't know if I can say the weed word without getting flagged, but anyway, drug dealers get harsher, and drugs aren't. In my opinion, drugs aren't. They're not good. I mean, the Mary Jane is, it is what it is. But yeah, I've seen, like she said, weed dealers get harsher sentences than SA offenders. It just blows my mind. I don't understand. Like I said, I try to have all the faith in the world with our judicial system, but sometimes it blows my mind about how some things are handled. All righty, Lord, we're 2.5 hours, guys. Dandy says I'm attending this when it pans out. What are you attending? Oh, I thought, not making light. Nan says something about American Nightmare, and I was thinking American Horror Story, the TV show. I thought you were talking about that, which I love. American Horror Story. I love that show. I'm a couple of seasons behind. I'm gonna have to get on the Hulu and get caught up. But American Nightmare. I was reading something about that. Was that the one where? Oh goodness. I was just looking at something about that where they said it was some kind of a hoax or something, or I'm not, or am I completely off? That American Nightmare, it rings a bell. What? What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Dandy says, my con artist landscape guy that stole thousands was just emmed. I'll share the article in Discord. What? Really? Holy cow. Okay. I'll definitely have to go. Are you going to share it in Think Tank Discord? Or I think you can share it in mine too. I think I made you like a mod or something. You have but you know more about Discord than I do. You can I know you did it where you could do the invites, and I'll have to get together with you sometime when we have time and give you whatever control that you can have to help me with my Discord. I hate to put even more pressure on. I feel like I'm asking too much of you, Dandy, but you just been so. And I'm grateful for everybody who watches and tunes in and watches the lives and the videos. But with these live streams, Dandy has just, without even really, I mean, I just asked her a couple of questions and she has just jumped up and taken the reins and helped me so much understanding and getting used to doing this live stuff. Um, as Dave has too, just by listening and watching how Dave does his lives. It's just, y'all have been, thank you so much. Especially Dandy. She has been a blessing, a true blessing, as all my viewers are, my subscribers, viewers. I just appreciate all you guys so much, for all the support, all the encouragement. Very truly appreciated. So Nan says, you're doing a great job. From chats I've been in, most go off topic more or less. I'm still paying attention, even though I can go off topic a bit. Oh yeah, I go off the topic. I'm on the, like I said earlier, I'm with Ozzy. I'm on the crazy train right now, so it could go off the rails at any minute. If it hasn't already gone off the rails and crashed, and I just haven't realized it yet. And I'm trying to think if I don't know if I got any other, so that was all the planned stuff I had, but if you guys are getting tired, we can quit. If not, y'all can we can talk about whatever whatever you guys want to do. We still got 9 people in here. Thank you to all the lurkers who are not commenting. I appreciate y'all. I was a lurker at one time too, and I still am kinda sometimes. Depends on whose chat I'm in, how many people are there. I'll try to make at least one comment. Trying to see if there's anything else. So if y'all guys got anything y'all want to throw out there. Okay, so Jocelyn said, I'm not sure what it, excuse me. Once I get my stubbers backing up on me, apparently. Jocelyn says, I'm not sure what it's called for Dan Markle case, but I double checked. It's American Nightmare for the one on Netflix about Denise Huskins. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Dandy says she'll show, I guess you're talking to me, show you the ropes in Discord. Yes, you're definitely going to have to probably buy a rope for me so I won't get lost and go into the upside down in Discord. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Dandy says, oh, hold on. I pushed the wrong button. I almost went in dumpster fire. I'm trying to use my right hand. I can't do it. Dandy says she loves to chat. I do too. I have started doing, when I check my analytics, because I used to do just only videos. And then one night or one day I got the courage up to actually attempt to do my first live. And now the more lives that I've done, it's like addictive. And only because I love the feedback, the instant feedback I get from you guys that are here. Not that, I mean, everybody who watches replay and who comments, I love that too, obviously. But the instant back and forth we have here in the chat, even off topic and on topic, I just love the give and take. I just love it. I love connecting. Even if we're just connecting through a screen, it's still connecting over good stuff. So thank you guys. What? Dave killed somebody? What? No. I thought Dandy said, look up Dave killed Delta Co. I thought you said Dave killed somebody. I don't think Dave would kill anybody. I don't know though. Maybe he's not really out checking up on owls when he's out driving. Maybe we should keep our eye on Dave a little bit. No, Dave is a good guy. I love Dave. Dave, I don't even know if Dave is still here. He might have bugged out already. Dave is one of the first YouTube, I call my YouTube people that I became aware of through True Crime Web. I would always, when I was a lurker, when I first started going to lives in Nan says, I'm getting tired, so I think I'll say good night. It was great meeting, chatting, and learning from all of you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, Nan, so much, dear. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you can come again sometime and join us. It was a pleasure having you here, too. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Oh, Dave says Dave's not here. It's the imposter Dave. Yes, Dandelion says sleep sweet, Nan. Yes. Dave, I was going to talk good about you again, but no, I was going to say you were one of the first, when I first started attending True Crime Web chats when I was a lurker and didn't comment much. I always saw you were in there, and then Mr. Steve was always talking about you. And then when Mr. Steve was doing his morning watch, and then you were in there, and I think that's when I finally kind of started getting up the courage, because when he first started morning watch, now it was different later on. When he first started doing morning watch, there wasn't a whole lot of people in there, so I kind of started commenting, and you were always in morning watch, and of course, it always devolved into Waffle House. So yeah, I remember you back from those days, from the good old days, and now we have the good new days. So Danny put, okay, I'll have to check that out. Like I said, when I go back and watch the live stream to see, make sure I didn't go completely crazy in it. So um, I'll check that out. Yes, Dandy, you trying to get my attention? You just put that Southern Gal to crying. Yes, Jocelyn. Oh yeah, you were there too, weren't you? Jocelyn says Steve's morning watch shows always made me hungry. Yes, I always wanted to. Whenever they started talking about Waffle House, because we have a Waffle House the next town over, and I always wanted to go get me some hash browns. Oh my God, I love them hash browns. And I think all the times that I've been to, and so we're going to devolve into Waffle House, but that's okay. I think all the times I've been to eat at a Waffle House, I have maybe actually gotten actual waffles there maybe once or twice. I always have some kind of hash browns or an omelet. Because I love their omelets and I love their hash browns. I love their hash brown bowls. Oh my God, those are so good. Dave says he loves us all too. We love you, Dave. And I loved your live the other night when you were talking about Delphi. That was awesome. Dave says Dandy is awesome. Yes, Dandy is awesome. Everybody here is awesome. Okay, Dandy said that was the link for your yard guy, M. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I will check it out. That's crazy that your yard man, former yard man, was M. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the way I was. Jocelyn says, I too shied away from chatting in lives when I first started watching them. It's overwhelming at first, but I ended up loving to chat. Yeah, that's the way. And like I said, it still depends on what channel I'm watching or what chat I'm in and how many people are there. And it depends. I try to at least say hi and, you know, and give some support, just to let, especially, Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve when she's there, although she's with the aughts, double aught and triple aught down in Florida right now. She hasn't been around too much, so we miss Mrs. Steve, but we understand them. And grandbabies are more important, but yeah, I try to at least let them know that I'm there and supporting and sharing and liking and all that good stuff. And Chris, I try to at least comment once on him to let them know when I'm there, but he always has a lots and lots of people in his life. And Mr. Steve too I'm just so proud and glad for both Chris and Mr. Steve, that their channels have grown so much. They do so much good work and put out so much good information the right way. I'm just so proud of them, of their channels, and still so very humbled that Mr. Steve has all the advice and support and encouragement he's given me, and let me come on his show, as he called me a guest host or a guest host. I said, no, I'm just a guest. I'm just a lucky person that he invited to come on to talk about a case. But forever grateful to him. Always will be for his support and encouragement, and for all you guys who supported and are still supporting me, and for all the new people that I'll get to know, and hopefully that'll come in and help us, not just me, help us as a community share, get these stories out. Dave, Dave says Waffle House coffee is so bad it's good. I'm gonna have to take your word on that because I don't drink coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I have to have my sweet tea, cold sweet tea, not hot tea because that's nasty. But I'll take your word on it. I think Mr. Steve has mentioned that Waffle House coffee is bad too, so bad that it's good. Yep, Dandy says communities building is great to see. Yes, it's like Miss Frankie said today. We these some of these creators, and I'm not saying not none of them, nobody that I'm not talking about any of who we've talked about tonight, but some creators that I've seen have been to some of their chats. They don't want. I mean, I can understand it is maybe considered disrespectful, but they don't want any other channels mentioned and all this. And I think when I gave Dandy a rent when I was going crazy, as Junior said the night I was giving out the wrenches for mods so they could put links, and Dandy said, "Can I put a link in? I don't want to be disrespectful." And it was to another channel. I said, "Go ahead. I mean, we need to work together." But I mean, I understand, but only with, like I said, the good ones, only ones that I and everybody here. I trust Dandy and everybody I gave wrenches to. They're going to do the right thing and not put any of the BS channels up. So, absolutely. Dandy says, I'm a Southern gal. Of course you like sweet tea. Hey, I think I had a sweet tea in my bottle growing up, raised on it. You are correct. They've said nothing is as bad as cop coffee. Yeah, I wouldn't know about that either. Now my youngest sister-in-law, her dad was a cop. But I've always heard, and then watching like I watch Blue Bloods and stuff like that, and they're always talking about the bad coffee on those shows. Uh, y'all guys are great. Y'all kept me so entertained. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning. So glad y'all are here. But if you don't feel obligated to stay around, if y'all getting tired, you can stay or go. It doesn't matter. I think I covered everything I had planned, so you can do whatever. You can talk about whatever, or go to bed or whatever you want to do. Who is it? Is it Carolyn from Under Secrets that says she was the long goodbyes, the Midwestern goodbyes or something that she's always talking about? I'm not saying that I want any of y'all to leave, but I'm just trying to see, searching around here to see if I had anything else to go over. Then he said, do they get a discount on day old donuts though? Ooh, don't be talking about donuts at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now I want a donut. I want donuts and hash browns right now. Donuts and hash browns and some Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't even know if we have any donut shops. I know we don't. I don't think we have any here in the town I live in. There used to be a donut shop in the next town over, Daylight Donuts, but I don't even know if it's still open or not. Donuts sounds good. Donuts sound good though. Hopefully, I'll get some replay traffic on at least some of this because it's going to end up being about 3 hours long. Hey, that's all right. That's okay. As long as y'all are enjoying it and finding, and I'm providing you some interesting, useful information, and we'll keep going. But don't stay around just on my account. If anybody gets tired, you can feel free to leave. I'm probably going to cut it off about another 15 minutes. It'll be the 3 hour mark. And my eyes are getting a little bit heavy, and I may probably start, if I'm already in, probably goofier, a little bit goofier than I am normally. So I'm trying to remember if I took my sleeping pill before I started doing this. See, I can't even remember. I better not take one just in case. Because I suffer from insomnia. That another reason that I can do lives until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I very bad insomniac, so very, very few times that I can actually go to sleep naturally without having to take something to help me go to sleep. Alrighty. Anybody got anything else? And I didn't even, I think that I might have mentioned Delphi, but I try to stay away from that whole deal because I don't get into the whole judicial part of it or whatever you call it with the judge and the lawyers and the coming and the going and I mean, I just want it to be, I want it to be fair on both sides. But it's just so, Abby and Libby are getting just so lost, in my opinion, in this whole thing. Um, it's just, I want it to be over. I want it fair on both sides, but one way or another, I want it to be over. Then it says, it's 1:14 here. I've made it later than New Year's. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I made it to New Year's. Maybe barely. I don't remember. Jocelyn says, wait, oh, wrong one. Hold on. Jocelyn says I've only stayed up this late because I'm at work. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Jocelyn. Yeah, that Dandy says I need to see the Delphi trial, the evidence presented. Yes, that would be the reason I would watch it. Is I want to because they have got to have, because all that's been mentioned is the bullet, or all that's been really mentioned publicly, and I'm sure, I hope that they have a whole lot more. So they have the bullet, the evidence, and the witness statements, and then they have R.A. Richard Allen's statements, or when he on the phone call with his wife, he admitted it allegedly. Yeah, I want to see. Surely they have some other stuff up their sleeve that they're holding back till trial, because I'm just so afraid with this whole thing with the judge and the lawyers and all this that it's going to end up in a mistrial or something's going to happen. And, once again, R.A. Richard Allen is allegedly, but I'm just so afraid something is going to happen that's going to, whether he did it or not, which I personally, in my opinion, I think 99.9 he's the one, but then again, I'm still confused, or not confused, but with the KK, with the Keaton Klein, and he did have contact with her through was it Abby, with the Snapchat or whatever it was. That it's either a big coincidence or he's a tentacle. Is that what they calling them, the tentacles? I don't know. It's just also it makes my head hurt to think about it. Yep, I agree. Dandy says, I don't know what to think at this point. I'm all about evidence. Exactly. Um, yes, Jocelyn, absolutely. Jocelyn, let's hope the trial isn't as much of a circus as it's all been so far. Absolutely. Like I said, it is truly a circus, and it just, oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I'm just waiting. I think I made this comment earlier in the think tank with Miss Frankie. I'm just waiting because we were talking about making money, or we were talking about Heuermann making money, or Asa, his wife, ex-wife, whatever, making money off this Peacock documentary, and then we were talking about Delphi, and I made the comment. I said I'm waiting for the James Cameron Titanic version movie to come out movie to be made with this whole Delphi dumpster fire going on. It's just, oh my gosh, my head hurts thinking about it. Dandy says it's a flea circus. Exactly. It's something. I don't know what, but it's something. All right, guys. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, we're about to hit the 3 hour mark, and I am getting a little bit tired. My voice, I'm not getting tired, but my voice is going on me, and my vocal cords is starting to hurt. But thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I might have to start doing these late night lives. I'm telling you, this is the most active and most people that I've had here. And thank you so much for everybody that was here, chatting and lurking. Thank you to everybody who hopefully will watch the replay, even though it's going to be about 3 hours long. You can skip forward to the good parts. So I think I'm going to end it here. Be sure, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button before you leave. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe if this is your cup of tea. We keep it good and good vibes and respectful and everything here. So if that's what you're all about, then we welcome you here. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. You guys know the drill. Thank you, everybody that was here. Jocelyn, Dandy, Dave, Nan R. I may start repeating names. My brother was here earlier. He probably went to bed a long time ago, but one of my baby brothers was here. He's actually the middle younger brother. Good to see him here. He dropped in. When Nanar was here. Like I said, I'm probably repeating names. Jocelyn, Dandy, of course, Dave. I'm sure I didn't miss any. Junior checked in and said he had to go to bed, but he would watch the replay. So thank you, Junior Johnson. All right, guys. I'm trying to multitask and make sure I didn't miss anything while trying not to. Yep. Thank you, Dandy. Dandy says, see everyone next time. Thanks for being here. Stay safe until next time. Thank you, Dandy. I'm utmost sincerity. Thank you so much for everything you've done to help me get used to this YouTube thing and the Discord thing, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Dandy says, great stream. Better get up early and caffeinate to keep up. Oh, yeah, I'll be up and have my sweet tea. I won't have my coffee. I'll have my sweet tea. Yeah, I'll definitely be checking in if Miss Frankie is going on tomorrow. I did, of course, sub, and I've got my notifications to all, so I'll know if she goes live. So I might be waking up with my phone going off. Notifications. Oh, I gotta get up and caffeinate and watch some lives. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Once again, see, I'm repeating myself. I'm really goofy. I'm trying to figure out which buttons to push. Stay safe out there. Stay warm out there. Take care of each other. That's the most important thing we can do, is take care of our fellow human beings, and all get along, and everything will be hunky-dory. And like Dandy said, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.